How's it going, guys? It's Uber Jack here with another video, and we're back in the car. We're back in the old Mondeo, but no work at the moment, actually. But I can make a video about what is happening at the minute. Come on, mate. Nice to see people still can drive, mind. Okay, so hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's safe. Hope you're all looking like something out of a movie with your protection on. Got to be done, eh? So, title of the video is going to be about when to return back to work and how to do it safely. That's what is key now for every industry. You know, how can we get people back into work, and how can we protect them? So things like this is going to be the normality. You know, there's going to be billions of these made, if not millions, maybe billions. Just a bit of a Dr. Evil overestimation there. But there's going to be things that are done in almost every line of work, every industry, to protect customers and employees from infectious disease. Now, there's only so much protection you can have if you're doing Uber or taxiing or something along those lines. However, I did have an idea, and I'll tell you how it came about. Before I do that, I'll just let you know what I'm up to. So I'm just heading over to one of these click and collect places for an Argos delivery. I'm getting a jet wash for my old man. I'm going to end up using it as well, just to give the old garden a spruce, and then probably use it to clean the car going ahead, actually. So that's where I'm heading now. An observation that I made, which I didn't really notice until just now. I've not driven at all. I really haven't driven anywhere. Haven't been anywhere. All of our deliveries we've managed to get done online. We did do, you know, some shopping at the beginning. You know, I've not been completely indoors. Obviously, you've got to go to the corner shop for things. I'm going to Argos now. Done that for a few things for my son to keep him occupied, those kind of stuff. But in large, I've not been anywhere. And here's my, well, it's not really proof because I can't prove it, but I know it's true. So when all this started, since all this started, I haven't put any fuel in the car at all. Not once, and I've still got 94 miles, which is just under quarter of a tank left. I think it was on about half a tank when all this began. So in six or 7 weeks, can't remember what it is now, I've done quarter of a tank, sorry, not even half, quarter of a tank's worth of diesel, which, as you guys know, pre-coronavirus, that would have been half a day's work, you know. So yeah, I've not been anywhere. I've really not been anywhere at all. Which, you know, it's not a bragging competition. You know, I think people should be proud if they've stayed in, because, you know, I've had a lot of time on my hands to research what's going on, and you know, transmissions, and you know, all these things about infectious diseases. And the simplest way I can put it in my mind is, if everybody was able to stay in their house for 2 to 4 weeks, and I mean everyone, say you were a robot or a machine, you could just turn yourself off and then come back out in 4 weeks, the disease would be gone completely. But that's if every single person did it. So that's the scale that you have. You know, that's one end of the scale, which is, you know, actually impossible, and then the other end is what we would have called normality of socialization, socializing, which was pre-coronavirus. So we're obviously way up the other end, close to what I said. But yeah, so if you're doing that, I think you should be proud, to be honest with you. I mean, there's way more pride in the key workers that are working at the minute, and I would never, claim to be. That's not what I'm claiming, that I'm more important than them just because I'm sitting on my ass at home. I just thought it was quite funny that I haven't filled up once. I really haven't. So, on to what I was just going to actually talk about. If you're still here now, thanks. And it's when to go back to work, obviously, for Uber drivers and private hire drivers, and how to do it safely. And this brought up this idea that I had. And the idea was, basically, a Facebook advert came up on my timeline, and it was a company local to me, very local actually. They're within a 5-minute walk of me. They are supplying, I don't know if it's acrylic or if it's plastic screens for shops. You may have seen them going up now in the counters to protect you and the person working. And I thought to myself, why can't we have something like that? And my first thought was of something that would go round the driver. And then I thought that would be, logistically quite difficult. But then I started to think about old school Hackney cabs and how they had a divide from the front to the back. More for security, not from infectious disease, but from maybe an aggressive customer or something like that. But they would be golden now, absolutely golden, because of the protection it would supply from contact with a customer, which would then almost certainly give you a good hand to say you're protected from the virus. Not completely, of course, but some protection. So anyway, I've contacted this guy. I've contacted him, and we're gonna see if we can make it happen. We're gonna see if we can get a screen cut out, an acrylic screen, and have it put going behind the driver's seats, the driver and passenger seat at the front. Obviously I've got a Ford Mondeo, so it's quite big at the back anyway. There's only probably certain cars that'll be able to get away with this. I don't know, it's one of those things that we gotta have to have a look into, but I'm gonna trial it on the Mondeo and see basically if it can work. The guy who does the screen seems to think it can. They'll basically cut out maximum dimensions of the acrylic for me, which means I would have to then get someone to trim it. I'd be able to do it myself. He seems to think it's quite easy to cut with sort of like a Stanley knife, and then have it sort of installed. So that's potentially something that's in the works. I'm just gonna nip into Argos and I'll finish the video off, and we'll we'll talk a little bit more about that. Okay, that was really quick. Yeah. So as I was saying, these screens, I don't know if it's something that's going to be possible yet. I've been trying to sort of brainstorm sort of issues with the idea, and there are a few. Namely, it makes your passenger front seat redundant, so then you can only really carry 3 people, even though you're licensed to carry 4. So that's an issue. But how you'd get around that is, like, if we're going to do this properly, the thing is, the councils who license us at the minute, they're not working. There's no, they're not working. They're not essential as such in because there's no drivers, you know. So that's my understanding, that they're not working at the minute. So there's not really anybody that's going to be completely vetting it. But if you want to be, you know, if you want to do it, if you're going to do it properly, I think it's only right to contact them, which I'll do, and say, look, does somebody want to have a look at this, and just give it the thumbs up kind of thing, to say, yeah, you know what, that's a modification that you've done to the car. However, that modification is gonna be beneficial going ahead. It's gonna be beneficial going ahead as well, because I don't think we're getting out of this anytime soon. I really don't. I laugh when people are like, oh, should we stop the lockdown now, like next week or something? No. The fact that the deaths are going down and we're past the peak is because of the lockdown, not because the virus has gone away. It's still here. It's not gone anywhere. It's still as deadly as it was 6 weeks ago. It's just the transmission's gone down. So we're not going to get out of this lightly. You know, that there's going to be measures put in place to protect people. Things like the screens still in the shop, they're going to stay there. They won't take them down now. They really won't, because when's the next thing like this going to happen, you know? So the screen that I'm on about could be a normality in many cars. Could be an optional extra from the main dealer, particularly if you're going to use it for private hire. Who knows? Which then may mean you can only ever carry 3 people. You know, is that a fair trade-off? 100% it is. Sorry, but you know, we'll still have people carriers. You know, they'll still be fine because they can carry the bulk load in the back. 7-seaters, 9-seaters. You know, be much easier to fit the screens on those, by the way. So that's one of the problems. The other problem is, you know, having approval off the council. But I've kind of touched on that, you know, in the fact that there's no one really working at the minute anyway. So I can't see it being an issue. Plus, going ahead, you know, this whole thing that we built up before of how anal we were over little details will go. Because, yes, having a screen there may cause somebody to bang their head if I have to brake sharply and they maybe don't have their seatbelt on, but they should have their seatbelt on in the first instance. However, that bang on the head, which is very improbable and likely anyway, you know, you're talking about professional drivers here, you're not talking about 18-year-old boy racers. So it's very unlikely, but even that is a fair trade-off to the opposite, which is transmission of infectious diseases. You know, that's why the whole world has come to a standstill. That's why the economy has nosedived, because, you know, this is deadly. You know, it's deadly. So, rambling on a bit now, but I've got so much to say. But the thing is, I think these screens, if they can work, so I'm going to be basically receiving a screen. I'm not sure when, probably this week or next week, and then I'm gonna get a buddy of mine to give me a hand to cut it, because I'm not gonna lie, my DIY skills are pretty fucking bad. That would be probably a compliment. That's how bad they are. That's what this has brought to light to me. One of the things. I can't do DIY for shit. Oh, there's a helicopter landing in at the hospital. I wish I could show you guys that. Looks pretty cool. So yeah, that's one thing I learned. But you know, with a little bit of help, I think this could be possible. Yeah, just wondered what you guys thought about it. You know, if you can imagine, behind me now, there'll be a screen all the way across. It makes the whole situation a bit less intimate. Is it supposed to be intimate though? I don't know. But it'll give customers so much confidence in using us as a method of transport to and from work, or to and from hospital appointments, or whatever it might be, you know, in comparison to perhaps a bus, where that protection is not possible. You can't have that protection unless they're going to build miniature cubicles for everyone on the bus. That's not going to happen. So, and also it'd be this screen would be relatively cheap, you know. I think the plastic itself is it's £15 a square meter, basically. I think something like that. Then you just have to factor in sort of your own time to fit it or whatever, or get someone to fit it for you. You know, it's cheap. It's really cheap, and that's another good thing about it. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. I'll keep you guys posted. If you're still watching now, let me know what you guys think. Would it be something that you would be interested in terms of, you know, if you can get back to work quicker and more safer because of that? Is that something you'd go for? You know, because I guess a lot of people maybe are like me. You can't work at the minute, because there's no work, but when the work does come back, you're still going to be quite scared about the whole situation with coronavirus, in terms of there's no vaccine available. So, you know, you see, like I said, the vaccines, I'm rambling again now. The disease isn't going anywhere. It's still going to be here. It's just, so when people say you can turn back to work and that, you're still going to have that risk. So you're going to have to wear masks, things like that. Maybe the mask is good enough. Maybe this is a bit over the top. I don't know. I think I read somewhere that the masks give you like 5 times protection. So even though you're wearing it, you're not going to be completely immune, but you'll be probably about 5 times more immune than someone who didn't have one on. If we chuck the screen in with that as well, you know, you're looking at a good level of protection. So yeah, I'm going to look into it, guys, and I'm going to keep you guys posted. But I didn't really talk about when we'll be going back to work much in this video, but it's quite simple. We're gonna have to wait until things like other jobs open up, universities open up. You know, where our usual bulk of work was coming from, that's what we need. Once that comes in, people will start getting back on the app, start taking taxis everywhere. Anyway, guys, I'm home now, so I'm gonna call it a day there on the video. But thank you for watching, and I'll keep you posted on the little idea I have. Maybe it's just a wacky idea, and I've been stuck in quarantine too much. Maybe it'll be quite good. We'll see. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe.